Welcome, dear learners. I am Shubhashish Das, back again with another class, and today our subject is English first paper. Before starting the text, I want to show you some picture. Picture number 1. In this picture, we find a huge gathering, and in picture number 2, we find the person who is addressing the gathering, and in picture number 3, we find the same person addressing the gathering, and in picture number 4 we find the great man who is addressing the gathering, and this person is none other than Martin Luther King Jr., the great American politician. And now you may understand what is the today's topic, and the topic is I Have a Dream by Martin Luther King Jr. from your English for today. Now let us know something about Martin Luther King Jr. A brief introduction. Born January 15, 1929, Atlanta, Georgia, US. Died he was assassinated April 4, 1968 at the age of 39, Memphis, Tennessee, US. Political movement, African American Civil Rights Movement and Peace Movement. Awards, he got 3 awards. Nobel Peace Prize 1964, Presidential Medal of Freedom 1977 after his death, Congressional Gold Medal 2004, and it is also after his death. Let us know something more about him. Martin Luther King Jr., original name Michael King Jr., born January 15, 1929, Atlanta, Georgia, USA. He died April 4, 1968, Memphis, Tennessee. He was a Baptist minister and a social activist who led the civil rights movement in the United States from the mid-1950s until his death by assassination in 1968. His leadership was fundamental to the movement's success in ending the legal segregation of African Americans in the South and the other parts of the United States. He promoted nonviolent tactics such as the massive March on Washington in 1963 to achieve civil rights. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964, and he is also famous for his speech I Have a Dream. Now, information about I Have a Dream speech. Number 1, I Have a Dream speech by Martin Luther King Jr. was delivered on August 28, 1963 during the March on Washington. Number 2, a call for equality and freedom. It became one of the defining moments of the civil rights movement and one of the most iconic speeches in American history. Number 3, some 250,000 people gathered at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. from the March on Washington. Number 4, the one-day event both protested racial discrimination and encouraged the passage of civil rights legislation. Then number 5, the march featured various speeches as well as musical performances before King, a celebrated orator, appeared as the final official speaker. Number 6, early in his prepared speech, King referenced Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address with 50 years ago. He then spoke about the Emancipation Proclamation, which in the long night of their captivity. Number 7. However, he continued by noting that African Americans were still not free and that they were crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. Okay, now before listening to his speech and going through the text, let us know some word meaning. Manacles. Manacles means shackles or chain. Materials means worldly. Languish means extreme distress of body or mind. Swelter means be uncomfortably hot. Oppression, the act of subjecting by cruelty. Oasis, a place of safety or sanctuary. Interposition means introducing. Nullification, act of depriving the legal force. Exult means rise and discord means friction. These are the important words of his speech. Now let us read the questions. What is the text type? An article, a speech or a short story? Who delivered it and when? We have already understood what is the text. The text is a speech. And what was the condition of the Negro in America at that time? Why did Martin Luther King Jr. have these dreams? What was his dream regarding the state of Mississippi? And what would happen if they could achieve freedom? So these are the 5 questions. Now let's listen to his speech.
Years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will they be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification. One day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today.
This is a part of his speech. You will have the full speech in the internet. Listen to his full speech. I think you have listened to the speech very carefully and attentively and felt the spirit and emotion in his speech. And it is one of the most important and famous speeches in the world history. Now, read the text with me. The Negro is still not free. The life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. Here, Martin Luther King says that though the Negro is free officially, but they cannot enjoy equal freedom, and they are sadly crippled by chains of segregation, that is discrimination, and the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of vast ocean of material prosperity. The Negro is still languishing in the corners of the American society and finds himself an exile in his own land. So a Negro cannot enjoy the prosperity in America. We know that America is a country of material prosperity, but the Negroes cannot enjoy this. They live poor life and they are exiled in their own land. And so we have come here today to dramatize a shameful condition. So Martin Luther King Jr. and the audience in front of him have come here, that is in Washington, in Lincoln Memorial, to dramatize their shameful condition. I say to you today, my friends, so even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It's a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Martin Luther King Jr. here addresses his audience as his friends. He tells them that though they are facing difficulties at the present time, that is today and tomorrow, but he has a dream. And he has a dream that the nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. And he believes that this dream is deeply rooted in the American dream. And he also tells that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. He quotes here from the Bible that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice and sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. Here Martin Luther King tells us about a state of Georgia. In Georgia, the sons of former slaves, that is the black people, and the sons of former slave owners, that is the white people, the white people and the black people cannot sit together at the table of brotherhood. And he dreams that one day they will be able to sit together at the table of brotherhood. And regarding Mississippi, he dreams that one day this state will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice, a peaceful place of freedom and justice. But unfortunately, now the state is sweltering with the heat of injustice and oppression. The people suffer from injustice and oppression. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin but by the content of their character. Here, Luther King tells about his own 4 children, and he hopes that one day these children will live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin. Nowadays, the people are judged by the color of their skin. The black people are deprived and the white people are given extra privileges. But he hopes that one day they will be judged by the content of their character, not by their color. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, that one day right down in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with the little white boys and white girls as sister and brothers. I have a dream today. So regarding Alabama, Luther King says that there the governor is a racist. He uses words like interposition and nullification. But he hopes that one day in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with white boys and white girls, and there would be no discrimination. They will live as sisters and brothers. And these are the hopes or dreams of Martin Luther King's. Okay, dear learners, in this part of his speech, we find Martin Luther King starts his speech with full of disappointment that they are not free. But he expresses his dream of better life again and again. He tries his best to encourage his people to stand up and hope for better life and living. He tells us about the states of Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, and about the other states also. Everywhere he tells us that the people of these states are deprived of their rights and they cannot enjoy their life as the white people in America. So he comes here to encourage them to hope for the better life and living. I hope you have understood his speech. Now some task. First MCQ, question number 1A. Choose the correct answer from the alternatives. First question. What is the meaning of the word exalted in the passage? The 4 alternatives are suppressed, made disorderly, filled with joy and happiness, filled with anger. And as exalted refers to joy and happiness, the answer is filled with joy and happiness. B. What is the meaning of the word jangling in the passage? Aggrandizing, aggravating, smoothing, having an unpleasant sound. So we know jangling means having an unpleasant sound. Number C. What is the meaning of the word Hamlet in the passage? So alternatives are metropolitan city, small village, large town. So Hamlet means small village. What is the meaning of the word Gentile in the passage? Alternatives are not Jewish, non-believer, aboriginal, Jewish. We know gentle means not Jewish. And number 5, what is the meaning of the word sheltering in the passage? Alternatives are uncomfortable, filled with, comfortable, and unpleasantly hot. And the answer is unpleasantly hot. So this is the answer. But in answer paper you cannot write the answers in this way. It's not necessary to write the question. You have to write only the answers. So I am showing you how to write the answer in the answer papers. First write answer to the question 1A, then you have to write only the answers filled with joy and happiness, having an unpleasant sound, small village, not Jewish, and unpleasantly hot. Now question 1B, that is answering question. First one, what is the text type? An article, a speech, or a short story? Who delivered it and when? The answer is the text is a speech. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered it on August 28, 1963. You can write the answers in 2 sentences or 1 sentence also. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered it, full stop, and then you can write he delivered it on August 28, 1963. But you can write this in 1 sentence also. Second question, what was the condition of the Negro in America at that time? The answer is, at that time in America, the condition of the Negro was very bad. They suffered discrimination and could not enjoy equal rights and opportunities. Number C, why did Martin Luther King Jr. have these dreams? What is the reason? The answer is, Martin Luther King Jr. had these dreams because these dreams are deeply rooted in American dreams and they would ensure better life for all. That is, these dreams would ensure better life for all. So the students, you must remember in which tense the question is. If it is past tense, your answer should be in past tense. Okay. Number D, what was his dream regarding the state of Mississippi? Answer, regarding the state of Mississippi, he dreamed that the state will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. The final question, what would happen if they could achieve freedom? The answer is, if they could achieve freedom, they would be able to live together and enjoy equal rights. There would be no racial segregation in America. Okay, these are the answers, and this is the way of writing the answers also. I haven't write any line from the text directly, but all the informations are from the text. And we have read the speech, and then we answered MCQ, and then we answered 5 questions, that is 15 marks covered. And from the text you may have to write a summary also if you are asked to write. And for answering fill in the blanks with clues and without clues, you have to read the text again and again. You have to understand, you have to learn the word meaning very well. So for this I suggest you to read the text again and again, underline the words especially the new words, and then it will be easier for you to answer any question from the text. Okay, no more today. Hope you enjoyed the class. Hope for the best. See you again in my next class. Thank you, goodbye, and take care.